X's and O's with LeRoy Butler is brought to you by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino.
Hi everyone, welcome to X's and O's with LeRoy Butler, and we are going to get right at it. So we saw these kind of blocks during the game between the Eagles and Packers on Thursday night and figured we would illustrate exactly what it is. And you heard Matt LaFleur talk about it. It's called a Wham play or a Wham block. So essentially what the Eagles did was have a double tight end. This is a tight end lined up in a wide receiver.
Right.
And then you got two wide receivers here. So the Packers decide, well, we can't cover him with an inside linebacker because our inside linebackers can't cover.
Would be a good matchup.
So they've got Tramon Williams out here, a fifth defensive back, ready to cover him. And then you got Adrian Amos playing inside linebacker here. Okay, so first photo, we'll just take a look so you can see. And basically what you're getting there is Jason Peters, the left tackle, getting some kind of signal from Carson Wentz and probably some discussion about who he's going to take because, as we'll see in the next one, I guess we'll have to let's go back to the board first before we go to that. This tight end is coming on the move, and that's probably where the blocking changed. So why don't you, I'll just show this guy in motion.
Yeah, so cause we got this thing, defensive line guys, they talk about this a lot because you can get cracked or you can get a wham block. Whenever you're unblocked, it's an issue. They unblock you for a reason, and it's to get a good angle on you. So as soon as he starts to motion, somebody should yell out, crack, 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 because you don't know if he's going to crack the outside linebacker or he's going to do a wham block. So it just makes you think about it. So now at this particular time, if you're Philadelphia, if you know they're in a nickel, you know, well, the guy that's going to come up is Amos. Now, he is man-to-man on Ertz. So now he has to stay there. Now, the problem is when Tramon is coming in and your guy blocks, you have to replace him. So when Tramon is coming down, and you show it real good on the pictures later, but when he comes down, you have to trail him. Don't get ahead of him.
Right. So essentially what happens, and so this is what a wham block is that this guy's going to come in here and take out.
They won't even block him.
So everybody else can move to pick up someone else.
Yep, there. 71 goes up to 31.
He'll go over and block Amos.
Yep.
And then you've got, all of a sudden, you're developing this crease. And then we'll show, these guys are going to try to double team him, but they need to get up and get him.
And that what makes that big hole there. Everybody, and Kiki tried to shoot this A gap, but he was a step too slow for it.
All right,
they won't even block the outside guy.
Now we can go to the photo.
Yeah.
So there
see, there's the arrows there.
Better idea. Now, conceivably every gap is covered there, but that's not the way it turns out, as we'll see with the next photo. Now here comes the tight end, and Amos, as soon as the tight end went in motion, Amos came up and got right on Zach Ertz, the tight end there.
Yeah, almost like a bump and run, but he's going to get caught up in the trash.
Yeah, so here's
you kind of want to stay back a little bit so you can see it develop.
Now, there's that wham block you can see with Dean Lowry, 94.
Yep.
Bam, the tight end comes in. Tramon, why is Tramon coming across the formation?
Well, he's coming, again, his guy is blocking. So if he would just slow down, he would realize what's going on. Because once his guy blocks Lowry, he has to replace Lowry's gap.
Right.
So he could just slow down there and he'll make this tackle for like a 5-yard gain.
But the reason he's running like that is if that tight end keeps going across the formation,
that's his guy.
That's his man, right?
Yes, that's why I say you could trail him to see if he blocks. If you're sprinting ahead of him, then you're going to overpass him. See, at this point, he's trailing him a little bit, but he's in a dead sprint to get over there.
Yeah.
So you got to recognize it. It is a tough play. And you'll see Martinez is going to get cut off by the guard, 73, and Kenny Clark is walled off. And again, Kiki shot the A gap. He's walled off. And at that particular time, it's a one-on-one with the safety.
probably in this, as you look at this, if Kenny Clark could have held up the guard there, 73 was coming out to get Blake Martinez, they would have had a better chance.
Yeah, then Martinez could have made the play.
Yeah, he's got to occupy that guy. Well, here's you go to the last one, and
there's
that gaping hole.
And you see Amos, I mean, Peters knocks him down. Yeah. He has to, don't take on linemen like that. You got to avoid those guys. you can get hurt like that. Trust me, I know.
I just think that really what happened here was that they had a better play call than the defense.
And that happens sometimes. And what they'll teach Dean Lowry, when you come through in the Wham next time, you face that guy. You face him up and he'll jam him, and now there's no hole there. It just get all kind of mushed up together, and it makes it a clean play for Amos. Now, because 71 won't be able to just come out clean on him.
What was your rule if you were up in the line of scrimmage and nobody blocked you? Let's say you were Amos, and because Dean Lowry, nobody blocked him. So what are you thinking when nobody blocks you?
I try to close the gap. I try to get as far as more penetration as possible. Once I realize it, I would turn to the guy that's blocking me, because they're trying to wall off the side on the gap next to me. So I try to get penetration and just kind of meet that guy a little bit deeper than where he is, because that makes it too easy for this running back to go in there. And then sometimes if my man blocked, if I was a tight end, if my man blocked, I would tell Wayne Simmons, he's your guy now, I'm free, I'm gone.
Okay.
I'm going to the quarterback, I'm going free to make a play.
So you might have said to him, if
we used to give him what we call a tango call. If he blocks you, he's your guy.
Then you follow him out. If he happens to block,
slip out. If it's a screen, he's your guy. I'm going to make a play.
Yeah, we don't know if they had that call available to them, but he could have just said it to him.
Yeah, he could have just said it to him, and that's something that we just gave it to him. That's a tool they can use. It's free. We educate people.
Okay, there you go.
Do that kind of call, and you'll never get caught up in this again.
Okay. Yeah. Next, we're going to look at a Dallas play that undoubtedly the Packers are going to have to defend.
No question.
All right, so naturally looking at Dallas, we're going to look at Ezekiel Elliott here.
Oh, no question.
And both of us, when we looked at this play, pretty much shot it out at the same time. This is the Packers Lombardi sweep.
Yeah,
because that's what it turns out to be. It's really an impressive looking
Jared Kramer.
Play. I mean, really good timing. And so we're looking again at what is a tight end in motion, possibly going to do another wham block. But it doesn't quite turn out that way, but it's close. And let's. So basically, what we have is New Orleans is in a base defense 4-3 over, you call it. They've got a linebacker on Randall Cobb, which is kind of interesting on first and
they're just doing like almost like some kind of rotation zone on it. But the physicalness of this play is amazing.
Yeah.
Because when you start to see the picture, you'll see Dallas has the numbers.
Right.
You know, they got a couple guys pulling and a fullback, and you got one of the best backs in the league. You think this was going to the house.
Essentially what you have is blocker, blocker.
Yes.
Okay, and then runner.
Right.
So we can
stack just like that.
Take a look in the photos first.
Yeah, look at that photo. Look at that.
So start. Now,
there's Witten.
Witten, this is the exact thing we were talking about before. Witten's in motion. If I'm number 94 there, someone should be shouting out to 94 that,
watch the crack.
Watch that crack back block.
Watch the crack.
It's coming. But it doesn't quite turn into a wham block because Witten stops his motion and then just faces up on the guy. And we can look at that in the next photo.
That's what your photo on the board.
Now you see at the bottom where the line of scrimmage is, you've got Witten on that end, and you've got Randall Cobb, who's just below him, is blocking the linebacker. So those two guys are kind of holding the edge.
Yep.
And then you've got this armada in front of Ezekiel Elliott. That looks like Greg and Thurston and
Yeah.
Jim Taylor and
Yeah.
Horn are gonna.
Yeah, that's the they run it regardless, and no one can stop it.
No. So what?
But you got that guy circled for a reason.
Yes.
As we come back
Good
to the
point.
board.
Good point. Now, if there's one guy who can blow it up, it's Ray Nitschke there.
Yeah.
Or
Just
Mike
good point.
Butkus or,
Yeah.
or Dick Butkus or whoever it is. And that's why we have him in purple here. So
Right.
as this moves, and what happens was, like we said, he comes here and he blocks here, and these guys are out here.
Right.
How do you get these three guys looking to just clear a path?
And see, the thing about it, they're still behind the line of scrimmage. So as a defense, you want to try to penetrate.
Right.
And these guys, you got to get the cut back, because they try to cut these guys. They'll try to cut you off. These guys, the linemen will come down to try to cut your angles off.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why you got 54 circle, and I'm going to circle him too.
This is Kiko Alonso, by
Yes.
the way, for New Orleans.
He just pulls the trigger. And when he pulls this trigger, Tom, he came flying in here and just made a wreck right there. So now Zeke panics and there's really nowhere to go. And now the pursuit comes. Everybody comes. I mean, even Apple, Eli Apple's coming. Everybody's flowing to this ball. And it's something we just pointed out. And you go to the next picture.
Yeah, so it starts out great with that photo we were showing.
Yeah, look at the
before.
lines.
There it is. Look
Good
at
job
all
with those
blockers.
lines. And you just see 54. I mean, the guy just finna go in there and blow this thing up. And you see how many Saints guys are in this picture.
Yeah. Well, right now there's only 4 guys who could make this play. I think Eli
Right.
Apple's on the left, 5.
Yeah, he's out the picture.
Demario Davis on the right, he's going to get cut by that
Yep.
offensive lineman. So you got 5 blockers in front of.
And the good thing about it, he's gonna get cut, but he doesn't
Ezekiel
fall.
Elliott.
He just keeps pursuing.
I mean,
It's like late pursuit.
right now you got 5 on 5.
Yep.
That's kind of what 5 blockers for 5 defenders. So someone's
Absolutely.
got to go in there like the old, on kickoffs. The
Oh
guys
yeah.
go in and and
blow the wedge up.
blow up the wedge.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
And
wedge,
you have to
wedge buster.
And you also have to look at Dak Prescott. He goes through his fakes. So they're going to may try a bootleg or two. But if you're coming backside, check him out first before you start to pursue.
Okay, so here now the next one will show. And that's where he just said, okay, I'm going right
I'm
up
gone.
in that hole.
Yes.
and I'm going to knock these guys down like bowling pins, which is exactly what he did. Zach Martin, the guard, kind of panicked and went for him
Yep.
and cut him, and that knocked down the fullback, and then
Yeah.
everything was just as, like we said, it was bowling pins. And then you
Yep.
pointed out at the end, look how many guys are around the ball.
You got 8, 9 guys to the ball. That's how you play defense.
This is
You
how-
got to rally to the defense. If you get cut, get up and run. Chase. Athletic ability always offset these plays. Because, again, if you had saw it when you got all 3 guys in front of, you said that's going for 35, 40 yards,
Yeah.
which has happened before with this play. This is one of their bread and butter plays that Kellen Moore likes to run. But if you get the penetration that you want, then a guy shoots that gap and guys just fall down, so everybody can just come clean it up.
And like you said, it's one thing for him to shoot it up, but it's, and blow it up, but it's another thing for everybody to
Yes.
come together and take care of the mess.
Yeah,
And
but
that's
you
what
got to
they
close
did.
these gaps because he can stop and turn and come back. Remember, Barry Sanders used to do that. Or he can throw the football. There's a lot of things he can do, but if you come in and attack it, one thing defenses make the biggest mistake when they try to retreat. Don't retreat. You got to meet them to the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, this guy is a very dangerous running back.
Yeah.
That didn't get a lot of yards last week, so they're going to try to get him the ball this week. But tackling was an issue in preseason for the Green Bay Packers, but they got it fixed. Savage, missed Dalvin Cook in the middle of the field. He's fixed that. He's been a great tackler, and now if you don't have everything you want and can't play base in a lot of these sub packages, you're going to have guys step up and make these plays.
No question.
Yeah.
No question.
And I want to thank Potawatomi. Hotel and Casino for sponsoring us. I really appreciate that. And again, if you're in the Racine area, you want to watch the Dallas game with me, come to the main hub in Racine. We'll be there at 3 o'clock. We got all kind of games and raffles and
I
bouncy
wish I
houses.
could be
right
there, but I'm going to be in
Yeah.
Dallas.
I'll call you FaceTime so you can do
All
the
right,
leap
there
or
we
something.
go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.